This one might make some people uncomfortable. Good. Because the question we are asking today is one that most people never think about directly. Why do some men specifically prefer to date women who feel like they're past their prime? Women who are already a little desperate, already a little insecure, already a little afraid that they are running out of options. Why would that be preferable to dating someone confident, secure, and clear about what she wants? The answer, when you look at it honestly, says a great deal about intention, and almost none of it is flattering. Let's start with a simple, uncomfortable observation. Confidence is inconvenient for someone who wants things on their own terms. A woman who knows her own worth, who has a clear sense of what she will and will not accept, who does not feel desperate to hold on to any particular relationship, that woman is genuinely difficult to take advantage of. She will walk away when something is not right. She will ask questions that demand real answers. She will not tolerate being strung along, treated inconsistently, or made to feel that her needs are too much. She has leverage because she genuinely believes she has options. Now contrast that with a woman who has spent years absorbing the message that she is running out of time. A woman who, when she finally finds someone who seems interested in her, holds on a little tighter than is probably healthy. A woman who, when conflicts arise, is more likely to smooth things over quickly rather than address them properly, because addressing them risks the relationship, and losing the relationship feels catastrophic. That woman, through no fault of her own, is simply easier to stay comfortable around without having to give very much. This is not about all men. Please hear that clearly. The majority of people, men and women, are not running deliberate calculations about how to extract the most from their partners while giving the least. But there is a pattern that appears often enough, in enough places, that it is worth discussing honestly. And the pattern is this. A person who is primarily interested in what a relationship gives them, without being particularly interested in what it costs them, will naturally gravitate toward partners who are less likely to hold them accountable. Partners who are more afraid of losing the relationship than they are committed to protecting their own well-being. An insecure woman, specifically one whose insecurity is tied to her age and the cultural pressure around it, often fits that profile. Not because she is weak. She might be extraordinarily capable in every other area of her life. But in this specific area, she has a vulnerability that was created by external pressure, and that vulnerability changes how she behaves in romantic relationships. She forgives more quickly. She communicates her needs less assertively. She is more willing to interpret ambiguous behavior charitably. She works harder to maintain harmony. All of these things in moderation can be genuine strengths in a relationship. But when they are driven by fear rather than genuine generosity, they create an imbalance that some people are very happy to quietly benefit from. What does this actually look like in practice? It can look like a man who dates a woman in her mid-30s, enjoys her company, enjoys the relationship, but never quite moves toward the future she is hoping for. He is not cruel about it. He is just comfortable. He has found an arrangement that works well for him, and he has correctly assessed, consciously or not, that she is unlikely to disrupt it because the cost of disrupting it feels too high to her. So months pass, then a year, then longer, and she keeps waiting for the relationship to become what she hoped it would be, while he keeps enjoying what it already is. It can also look like a man who is not particularly kind but who knows that his partner's fear of being alone will keep her from leaving. He does not have to be consistently loving. He does not have to be attentive or considerate or particularly invested. He just has to be present often enough to maintain the attachment. Because the attachment, held in place by her fear, does most of the work for him. Here is the question worth sitting with. In your current or most recent relationship, were you there because the relationship was genuinely good for you? Or were you there, at least in part, because you were afraid of what it would mean to be without it? There is no judgment in that question. It is simply worth answering honestly. Because a relationship entered into or maintained out of fear will almost never become the relationship you actually want. Fear holds things together, yes, but it holds them together in a fixed position, one that cannot grow into something real and mutual. The practical takeaway here is not to become suspicious of every person who shows interest in you. It is to stay curious about the dynamic you are in. Who is putting in more effort? Who adjusts their behavior more to keep the peace? Who is growing more comfortable while the other is growing more anxious? Those questions, answered honestly, will tell you more about the health of your relationship than any single conversation or grand gesture ever could. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for Japanese and Korean language learning content, fun ESL class stories, sometimes even the toxic ones, plus videos about pets, plants, and anything interesting I discover in my daily life.